Today I painted the side walls of the shower stall. Instead of sitting around just waiting for paint to dry, going to make better use of our time and get the wall ready for installing those walls. So to do that, I have to install the insulation. I've got 2 polyiso boards glued together with contact cement and a polyester sheet over them, and these are going to go up against the wall. Each one of them is labeled so that I know which side is which, and it should be pretty easy. I'm using these insulation pins to install all of the insulation. One thing I will say is you don't want to drop these on the floor. The whole box fell over and they all end up point side up. I'm terrified that I might step on these things one of these days. So that's always on my mind. Just like a cat, they end up point side up. Oh, I got 2 I didn't glue. Slides in there like that. That's good. Just tuck that around. Yep. That does not need any assistance in being held in there. 2B is the bottom. So that'll slide in there like that. So those don't need insulation pins, just these 2 do. This doesn't need the insulation pins either. Okay. I'm going to confess, I goofed. Number 2, I glued the polyester sheet to the wrong side. So this one happens to have it on both sides, but that's okay. And 2 of these little push-on caps. I got to trim this a little bit, and I've got to put a little liner of thin foam. Actually, I'll do that right now. So that I have a gap between the wall and the metal so that the heat doesn't instantly come through. We need that thermal gap. So I'm using some foam, and I'm using Lexel to stick the foam on. This Lexel stuff, I've probably talked about it before. I discovered it a couple years ago. It is amazing stuff. It's an adhesive caulk, dries clear, remains flexible. instantaneously waterproof. First time I used it was on my roof, and it was fantastic. So, but I've probably been singing the praises of that before. Skipping where the rib nut is, that's where the wall panel bolts on. It would help if I put some glue on there. Okay, so now I'm ready to put the wall back in. I placed a piece of wood up here. This is where one wall of the shower will go, and this will be on the inside. And tonight I will glue another piece of wood for this wall and put that up there, because the walls will go up against that, and then I will screw into the walls through this piece of wood that is glued up to the ceiling. I use construction adhesive to glue that, and before doing so I roughed up the paint. I didn't take the paint completely off. In some places I did, but it's covered with construction adhesive, so it's watertight and it won't rust. So I roughed that up real good. Then I used this little clamp and clamped it up there and left it overnight. So these clamps are excellent. They're actually for cargo. They're really not designed for what I'm using them for, but they work good enough. They don't put a massive amount of pressure like a clamp would, but they put enough pressure before they slip to hold that in place overnight for the bond to cure. So the next one will be that one. I'll do that one tonight. And then, quite soon, we'll be drilling the hole for the drain and assembling the shower stall, and then putting FRP board in. So stay tuned.